The number stared back at me from my phone screen. 0.E true true. I blinked hard, refreshed the banking app, and watched the same zeros mock me. 3 years of savings, 47,892, meant for my spinal surgery. Gone. Just gone. My name is Bonnie, and this is the story of how I destroyed my family's empire. They deserved every second of what came next. I scrolled through Instagram with trembling hands, and there it was. My brother Tyler's latest post. Him and our father posed beside a cherry-red Porsche 911, both wearing identical smirks. The caption read, "Sometimes you just have to treat yourself. Sorry, not sorry. Ours blessed hunter family first. Right." My phone buzzed, Simone calling. I let it go to voicemail, too focused on the mounting evidence in front of me. There were 3 separate transfers from my account to Tyler's over the past week, each one precisely timed when I was at physical therapy. The pain shooting down my spine felt sharper than usual as I grabbed my keys. 20 minutes later, I pulled into the circular driveway of my father's mansion, right behind that blood-red Porsche. "Well, look who finally learned to drive herself somewhere," Tyler's voice carried from the front door. He lounged against the frame in designer sweats, looking like every stereotype of old money gone wrong. "Where is he?" I managed through gritted teeth. "Dad's in his study, but he's busy with—" I pushed past him, my cane clicking against the marble floors. The sound echoed through the cavernous foyer like a metronome counting down to detonation. "Bonnie!" my father's voice boomed as I entered his study. "To what do we owe this unexpected pleasure?" He sat behind his massive desk, perfectly pressed suit and practiced smile in place. The same smile he used in all his company promotional videos. The same smile he wore when telling me I was being dramatic about my pain. "The money," I said. "My surgery fund, you took it." "Borrowed," Tyler corrected, sliding into the room behind me. "We borrowed it. The opportunity for that Porsche was too good to pass up. We'll pay you back." "When? Don't use that tone," my father warned. "We're family. Family helps each other out." "Helps each other?" I pulled out my phone, hands shaking. "Show me where in the past 10 years you've helped me with my medical bills. Show me where you've acknowledged I need this surgery." "Oh, here we go again with the surgery." Tyler rolled his eyes. "You're fine. You're walking, aren't you?" "Barely," my voice cracked. "I can barely make it through a work day. The pain—" "Is all in your head," my father cut in smoothly. "You've always been sensitive, dramatic, like your mother." The mention of my mother, the ultimate taboo in this house, made my blood run cold. I reached into my pocket and felt the reassuring weight of my second phone, the one they didn't know about, the one that had been recording every interaction for months. "You really think I'm just going to let this go?" I asked quietly. Tyler laughed. "What are you going to do about it? Sue us? With what money?" My father stood, walking around his desk to place a hand on my shoulder. I fought the urge to shrug it off. "Sweetheart, you need to learn to be resilient. The world doesn't stop for pain. Look at your sister Kennedy. She never complains." "Kennedy works for you," I said. "She doesn't have a choice." "Everyone has a choice," he replied, his grip tightening slightly. "You're choosing to be difficult. Again." I looked between them, my father with his practiced concern, Tyler with his barely concealed contempt. 3 years of saving every penny, of working through pain that felt like fire in my bones, gone because they wanted a toy. Because they could. "You're right," I said finally, watching their faces relax. "Everyone does have a choice." I turned to leave, my cane striking the floor with purpose now. "That's my girl," my father called after me. "You'll be stronger for this." At the doorway, I paused. "You think I won't do anything? That's your first mistake." Tyler's laughter followed me down the hall. Let them laugh. They had no idea what was coming. In my car, I pulled out my second phone and stopped the recording. Then I opened a folder labelled Firestarter and added it to my collection. 3 years of conversations, screenshots, and financial records. Every cruel comment, every shady deal, every moment of gaslighting captured and catalogued. They thought they were teaching me resilience. Instead, they taught me patience. And now, finally, I had enough ammunition to burn it all down. I texted Simone, "It's time, help me end them." Her response was immediate. "About damn time, come over, we've got work to do." Simone's apartment was a tech nest of monitors and hard drives, all humming with purpose. She didn't look up from her keyboard as I entered, just held up a finger while finishing whatever code she was typing. "Show me everything," she said finally, spinning in her chair. I plugged in my backup drive and pulled up the folder structure I'd been building. 3 years of dirt, organized by date and type. But it goes back further than that. Way further. How far? I closed my eyes, remembering the first time I realized something was wrong. I was 12, Tyler was 9, he'd just won some Little League trophy, and Dad threw this massive party. Typical golden child stuff. No, listen, I had surgery scheduled that week, my first spinal fusion. Dad cancelled it the day before, said the money had to go to Tyler's private coaching instead. Said I was just being weak, that I needed to learn to push through pain. Simone's fingers flew across the keyboard, pulling up old medical records. "Jesus, Bonnie, your x-rays from back then. Yeah, but that's not even the worst part." I leaned forward, pointing to a financial statement from that year. "See that account there? The one in my name?" She squinted. "These withdrawals, they're huge, and they don't match any of your medical bills." "Because they weren't for me. Dad's been using accounts in my name since I was a minor. I found out when I tried to get a student loan for college. My credit was already destroyed." Simone's dark eyes narrowed. "That's fraud." "That's just the beginning." I pulled up more recent files. "Look at these company transfers. Every major deal Sherman Industries has made in the last 5 years. There's always a shadow account, always money moving where it shouldn't." "And you have proof?" I played an audio file from 3 months ago, my father's voice filling the room. "The investors don't need to know about that account. What matters is keeping up appearances. Family business stays in the family." Simone whistled low. "Your dad's going to lose everything when this gets out." "That's the plan." I pulled up another folder. "But first, I need you to help me verify something. These payments to someone named Gage Riley, they're huge, but they don't match any official contracts." Her fingers were already moving. "Gage Riley. Oh shit. Bonnie, this is big. He's like conservative Jesus in the venture capital world, all about family values and clean business. If he finds out Sherman Industries is cooking the books, he'll pull his funding," I finished, "and once he does, others will follow." "You're not just trying to hurt them," Simone said slowly. "You're trying to destroy the whole company." My phone buzzed. Kennedy calling. I ignored it. "They took everything from me," I said quietly. "My savings, my credit, my chance at a normal life. They made me think I was crazy for years. Now they're going to learn what crazy really looks like." Simone turned back to her screens. "These records need cleaning up. We need to make them impossible to dispute. Give me a few hours." My phone buzzed again, this time a text from Tyler. "Dad says come to dinner tomorrow, don't be difficult." "Perfect timing," I said, showing Simone the text. "Family dinner. Want to bet Dad's going to brag about his latest deals?" "You're going to record it?" I pulled out my second phone. "I'm going to let them hang themselves." Simone grabbed my arm. "Bonnie, wait. Once we do this, once we send this to Riley, there's no going back. Your whole family. They stopped being family the day they decided my pain was inconvenient." I stood up, fighting back a wince. "Besides, Kennedy's been trying to reach me. Maybe she's finally ready to pick a side. Or maybe she's warning you about something. I checked my messages. Kennedy had sent a single text. I know what you're doing. We need to talk. Tomorrow's dinner just got more interesting, I said, pocketing my phone. Can you have everything ready by then? Simone nodded. I'll clean up these records, make them airtight. But Bonnie, be careful tomorrow. Don't let them see what's coming. I thought about the way Tyler had laughed at me, the way my father's hand had gripped my shoulder. Years of being told I was weak, dramatic, unstable, years of watching them take and take while I suffered. Don't worry, I said, heading for the door. I learned from the best. I'll smile, I'll nod, I'll play the good daughter, and then I'll burn their world to the ground. As I left, I noticed a new transaction alert on my phone. Another payment from Sherman Industries to Gage Riley, bigger than any before. Dad, I whispered to myself, you really should have taught me better math skills, because your numbers don't add up, and now everyone's going to know it. The family dining room felt smaller than I remembered, like the walls were closing in with every bite of overcooked salmon. My recording phone sat in my lap, hidden under the napkin, catching every word. So then I told Riley, my father was saying, wine sloshing dangerously close to the rim of his glass, that the Q3 projections were conservative. Conservative! He has no idea what's really coming. Tyler snickered. Did you see his face when you showed him those doctored reports? Keep your voice down, Kennedy hissed, shooting a glance at the hovering housekeeper. Oh, relax, Tyler said. Maria doesn't speak enough English to understand anyway. I watched Maria's shoulders stiffen as she refilled water glasses. Her English was perfect. I'd heard her discussing classic literature with the gardener just last week, but they never bothered to notice things like that. Speaking of reports, my father continued, the offshore accounts are performing beautifully. Riley thinks all that money is going to charitable foundations. He laughed. Technically, the Sherman Family Foundation is a charity. To us. Kennedy pushed her food around her plate. Maybe we shouldn't what? Tyler cut in. Make money? Create opportunities? Some of us actually contribute to this family, unlike others. He looked pointedly at me. I took a slow sip of water. How's the new car handling? Like a dream, Tyler smirked. Thanks for your contribution to that, sis. Don't worry, you'll get your money back. Eventually. Tyler, Kennedy warned. What? She's fine. Look at her, sitting there all quiet and well-behaved. Finally learned her place, didn't you, Bonnie? My father raised his glass. A toast to family unity, to understanding our roles. The crystal clinked. I lifted my glass with steady hands, the phone recording every moment. Actually, I said carefully, I've been thinking about roles lately, about legacy. My father's eyes narrowed slightly. Oh? Been reading about family businesses, succession planning, very interesting stuff. Tyler laughed. Since when do you care about the business? I've always cared. I just show it differently. I turned to my father. For instance, I've been following the Riley account closely. Fascinating structure. The room went still. Kennedy's fork clattered against her plate. The business doesn't concern you, my father said flatly. No, but we're family. Isn't that what you always say? Family first. Tyler leaned forward. What exactly are you implying? Nothing at all, I smiled. Just taking an interest. Like you said, I should contribute more. Bonnie, Kennedy said quietly, maybe we should talk after dinner. Yes, my father's voice hardened. Maybe you should. Kennedy can explain how things work around here. Oh, I think I'm starting to understand exactly how things work. Maria appeared at my elbow with dessert. As she set down the plate, she deliberately bumped my water glass, sending water across my lap, and covering my quick movement to stop the recording. Lo siento, she said, but her eyes met mine with clear purpose. She'd been listening. She knew. Clumsy as always, Tyler muttered. I stood, dabbing at my dress. I should clean up. Kennedy, walk with me? In the hallway bathroom, Kennedy closed the door behind us. What are you doing? What does it look like? It looks like you're trying to get yourself cut off completely. She ran a hand through her hair. Dad's already talking about removing you from the family trust. Let him. I pulled out my phone, showing her the folder of evidence. I've got something better than a trust fund. Her face went pale as she scrolled. How long have you been gathering this? Long enough. The question is, Kennedy, where will you be standing when it all comes out? You can't be serious. This would destroy everything. They destroyed everything when they stole my surgery money, when they used my name for fraud, when they made me think I was crazy for years. I took my phone back. You know what they've done to both of us? She looked away. It's complicated. No, it's really not. I headed for the door. But you've got about 12 hours to decide if you want to be on the right side of what's coming. Bonnie, wait. Tell Dad I wasn't feeling well. Must be all that drama he's always talking about. Back in my car, I sent the dinner recording to Simone, adding it to our growing file. Then I composed a new email, attaching everything: the financial records, the recordings, the proof of fraud. I addressed it to Gage Riley with the subject line, "From my family to yours." My finger hovered over the send button. 3 years of planning, a lifetime of pain, all coming down to this moment. I thought of Tyler's smirk, my father's dismissal, Kennedy's fear. I pressed send. Your move, I whispered to the empty car. Your move. 3 days of silence felt like an eternity. I checked my email obsessively, jumped at every phone notification, but nothing happened. The world kept spinning. My father kept posting photos of business meetings. Tyler kept sharing shots of his new car. Then Simone called. Check your texts, she said without preamble. My cousin Ingrid, the one who works for Riley, she just sent me something interesting. I opened the message. Boss cancelled all meetings for next week. Spent 3 hours with legal yesterday. Storm's coming. My hands shook as I typed back. How bad? The reply came instantly. Bad enough that he made me shred his personal copies of the Sherman contracts. He never shreds anything. I called my father's office, using my sweetest voice with his secretary. Hi, Linda. Just checking if the investor meeting is still on for Thursday? Oh, honey, didn't your father tell you? Mr. Riley's office cancelled. Something about scheduling conflicts. Scheduling conflicts, right? I was making coffee when my phone buzzed with a news alert. My cup crashed to the floor as I read the headline, Riley Ventures issues statement on integrity concerns with major partnership. The article was vague but pointed. In light of recent information regarding potential irregularities in financial reporting, my phone exploded with notifications. First Tyler, what did you do? Then my father, family meeting, now. I ignored them both, but turned on the business news. The anchor was already discussing it. Trading of Sherman Industries stock has been temporarily halted following concerning statements from major investor Gage Riley. Simone called again. It's happening! Riley's people are going through everything with a fine-toothed comb. Ingrid says they found even more than what we sent them. Has anyone traced the leak back to me? No, we covered our tracks, but Bonnie... Your father's not stupid. He'll figure it out. As if on cue, my father's contact photo lit up my screen. I declined the call. Good, Simone said. Don't engage. Let them sweat. Another text from Tyler. You think you're so clever? Wait until Dad. I blocked his number. The doorbell rang. I froze, expecting my father's angry face. Instead, I found Kennedy standing there, a large suitcase at her feet. I quit, she said simply. This morning, right after Riley's statement hit the news. I didn't move from the doorway. Why? Because I watched Dad throw his phone through a window when the stock trading was halted. Because Tyler's already talking about moving assets offshore. Because... She took a shaky breath. Because you were right about everything. You could be recording this for them. She pulled out her phone, removed the battery, and handed both pieces to me. I'm done being their puppet. I have proof of my own, stuff even you don't know about, if you'll let me help. I studied her face, the dark circles under her eyes, the slight tremor in her hands. This wasn't the polished Kennedy who sat silently through family dinners. This was the sister I remembered from before, when we were kids and still on the same side. You can come in, I said finally, but if you're playing me, I'm not. She dragged her suitcase inside. I already sent everything to my lawyer. Dad can't touch me now. My phone buzzed with another news alert. Second major investor pulls out of Sherman Industries amid growing concerns. Kennedy read it over my shoulder. That'll be the Jacobsons. They always follow Riley's lead. How bad is it going to get? Bad. She met my eyes. Dad's been running a house of cards for years. Once people start looking closely... She pulled out a laptop. Want to see what else I brought with me? Before I could answer, both our phones chimed with the same message, a company-wide email from our father. To all Sherman Industries employees, recent media reports have contained malicious falsehoods about our company. Rest assured, we are taking swift action against these baseless attacks. Any employee found spreading these lies will face immediate termination and legal action. We are family. Family stays loyal. Kennedy's laugh was hollow. Loyal, like he was loyal to Mom? I turned to her sharply. What about Mom? Oh, God, she covered her mouth. You don't know, do you, about why she really left? Another chime, this time from Simone. Riley's office just released another statement. Turn on the news now. As I reached for the remote, Kennedy grabbed my arm. Bonnie, there's something you need to know first. About Mom, about Dad, about accounts he set up in our names when we were kids. The TV flickered to life, showing Riley himself at a podium. His face was grave as he began to speak. This was it. No going back now. The evidence of financial misconduct at Sherman Industries is both extensive and deeply troubling. Riley's voice filled my living room. As a company built on family values, we cannot maintain ties with an organization that betrays the trust of its investors, employees, and the public. Kennedy muted the TV. Before this goes any further, you need to know the truth. Mum didn't abandon us. Dad forced her out. What are you talking about? She opened her laptop, pulling up old documents. Remember when you were 8 and suddenly Mum was just gone? Dad said she ran off with some guy. He said she couldn't handle family responsibility. Look at this. Kennedy turned the screen toward me. These are accounts Dad opened in our names, all 3 of us kids. But look at Mum's signature here. She was listed as a co-trustee. My phone buzzed continuously as news alerts poured in, but I couldn't look away from the documents. Mum found out he was using our identities for fraud, Kennedy continued. She threatened to report him, so he gave her a choice: leave with nothing or go to jail as an accomplice. Why didn't you tell me before? Because I was scared, because he convinced me she deserved it, because... Kennedy's voice broke. Because I was a coward. My father's face appeared on the TV screen, now unmuted. He stood at a podium outside Sherman Industries headquarters. These allegations are completely false, he declared. My daughter Bonnie, who has a history of mental health issues and substance abuse, has fabricated these claims out of spite. What? I grabbed the remote, turning up the volume. My beloved daughter has struggled with reality for years, he continued, his voice dripping with practiced concern. We've tried to help her, but she's refused treatment. These accusations are a cry for help. Tyler appeared beside him, nodding solemnly. We love my sister, but she needs professional help. She's been increasingly unstable since being denied her unnecessary surgery she wanted. Those lying... I started to stand, but Kennedy pulled me back down. Wait, she said, let them dig their hole deeper. My phone rang. Simone. Turn on your laptop now, she said when I answered. They're trying to smear you online, but we've got something better. I opened my email to find a video file from Simone. Security footage from Sherman Industries dated 3 days ago. My father and Tyler, crystal clear, discussing how to move money before Riley discovered the truth. Where did you get this? Martin Olson sent it to me, Simone said. The CFO, he's jumping ship, Bonnie, says he's got more. Kennedy was already typing furiously on her laptop. I'm sending everything I have to Riley's legal team, bank statements, board meeting minutes, everything. My phone lit up with a text from an unknown number. This is Ingrid. Riley wants to meet tomorrow morning. Bring everything you have. On TV, my father was still talking. We ask for privacy during this difficult time as we help Bonnie get the treatment she needs. Treatment? I laughed bitterly. Let's talk about treatment. I pulled up my medical records on my phone, snapped photos of my spine x-rays, and started typing. What are you doing? Kennedy asked. Fighting back. I posted the images on every social media platform. Dear Dad, here are my unnecessary medical records. Care to explain why you cancelled my surgery when I was 12? Or why you stole my surgery fund last week? Within minutes, the posts started going viral. Comments flooded in, many from people sharing similar stories of medical gaslighting and financial abuse. Bonnie, Simone's voice was urgent through the phone. Martin just sent more files. Your dad, he's been doing this to other families too, using their kids' identities, setting up fake accounts. It's huge. Kennedy's hand found mine. We need to call Mom. We don't even know where she is. Actually, Kennedy pulled out an old envelope. I do. I've always known. I was too afraid to tell you. Before I could respond, Tyler's face filled my phone screen. He was going live on Instagram. My sister is having another episode, he said gravely. We have proof of her instability. The screen split to show a video of me screaming incoherently at someone off camera. That's not real, I whispered. I never... It's doctored, Simone confirmed quickly. Give me an hour, I'll prove it's fake. Kennedy stood up, shoulders straight. I'm doing my own live stream right now. Time to tell everyone what really happened to their perfect family. My phone buzzed one final time. A message from Martin Olson. Meeting tomorrow with SEC investigators. Your father doesn't know yet. Bring everything. I looked at Kennedy, already setting up her camera. At Simone, working to expose Tyler's fake video. At my medical records, finally telling their own truth. Dad wanted to teach me about family, I said quietly. Let's show him what I learned. The SEC's conference room felt colder than a morgue. Martin Olson sat across from me, spreading documents across the table, while 2 federal investigators took notes. These accounts, Martin pointed to a spreadsheet, were all opened using stolen identities, children's identities. The oldest ones date back 20 years, including my sister's, Kennedy added. She hadn't left my side since her live stream went viral yesterday. Dad used all 3 of us, but Bonnie got the worst of it. My phone buzzed, Simone sending updates. She'd proven Tyler's video was fake, spliced together from multiple sources. The damage control was already starting. Mr. Riley is prepared to testify, one investigator said, reviewing her notes. His statement about the offshore accounts is particularly damaging. A knock at the door interrupted us. A young woman entered with a folder. Sorry to interrupt, but you need to see this. Sherman Industries just lost 3 more major clients, stocks in freefall. Martin nodded grimly. It's over. Charles can't recover from this. My phone lit up again, this time with a news alert. I nearly dropped it reading the headline, Sherman Industries CEO steps down amid fraud investigation. "He's running," Kennedy said, reading over my shoulder. "Tyler too. Their social media's gone dark." The investigator leaned forward. "Miss Sherman, we'll need to discuss protective measures. Your father may—" "Already handled," Simone's voice came through my speakerphone. "Bonnie's got security and I'm monitoring all communications. They won't get near her." A new email popped up on my laptop from the Public Health Grant Committee I'd applied to months ago. My hands shook as I opened it. "What is it?" Kennedy asked. "I got approved for the surgery, full coverage." I couldn't keep my voice steady. "They fast-tracked it after seeing my case in the news." Kennedy hugged me tight while Martin smiled for the first time that day. Sometimes karma works fast. The meeting continued, details piling up like evidence in a murder case, which, in a way, it was. The death of Sherman Industries happening in real time. "One more thing," Martin said as we wrapped up. "The internal audit found something else. Letters never sent, from your mother." My heart stopped. "What?" He slid a thick envelope across the table. "Your father intercepted them, all of them, for years." I stared at the envelope but couldn't bring myself to open it. Not here, not now. "The surgery's scheduled for next week," I said instead. "Will you need anything else before then?" The investigator shook her head. "We have more than enough. Get your surgery, Miss Sherman. We'll handle your father." Outside, Kennedy helped me to the car. My back was screaming after sitting so long, but for the first time in years, I felt hope. Real, tangible hope. "Bonnie!" a familiar voice called out. Tyler stood by his Porsche, looking dishevelled. "Please, just listen." "Step back," Kennedy warned, putting herself between us. "Haven't you done enough?" "Dad's gone," Tyler said quickly. "Took off this morning. Left me to deal with everything. Please, I need your help." I laughed, actually laughed. "Like I needed your help. When you stole my surgery money?" "I'm your brother." "No," I cut him off. "You're just another one of Dad's victims. You just haven't figured it out yet." My phone rang, an unknown number. I answered on speaker. "Hello, Bonnie." My father's voice smooth as ever. "Quite a show you've put on. Where are you?" "Somewhere safe. But I wanted you to know I underestimated you. You truly are my daughter." "I'm nothing like you." "No?" He chuckled. "Look what you've done. Destroyed a family business, ruined your brother's future, all for revenge, if that's not a Sherman move. Goodbye, Dad." I hung up. Tyler stood there, lost. Looking at him now, I saw what I'd missed before, another pawn in our father's game. "The investigators have questions for you," I told him. "Your choice if you answer them." As Kennedy drove me home, I finally opened my mother's letters. 20 years of love, explanations and pain poured out onto my lap. The first line of the earliest letter caught my eye. "My dearest Bonnie, I pray someday you'll understand why I had to leave, and that you'll be stronger than I was." I am. My phone chimed with a final news alert. Sherman Industries faces class action lawsuit as more victims come forward. "Ready for surgery next week?" Kennedy asked softly. I looked at the letters in my lap, thought of the long road ahead. Ready for everything. The hospital room was quiet except for the steady beep of monitors. Post-surgery hour 3, and I was finally clear-headed enough to check my phone. Hundreds of notifications lit up the screen. "You shouldn't be looking at that yet," Kennedy scolded, trying to take the phone away. "Wait," I said, opening a news alert. "They found him. My father's arrest had happened while I was under anesthesia. The photo showed him being led from a private airstrip in handcuffs, his perfect suit wrinkled, his practiced smile gone." "Tyler turned himself in too," Kennedy said softly. "He's cooperating with investigators." Simone burst into the room, laptop under her arm. "You're trending! The blog post went viral!" Before surgery, I'd published everything, every document, recording and letter, in a post titled Family Goals, a Story of Financial Abuse and Survival. It had exploded overnight. How many views? I tried to sit up, wincing at the movement. Over 2 million, and that's just the beginning. Simone opened her laptop. People are sharing their own stories. It's becoming a movement. My phone buzzed with a text from Martin. SEC found more accounts. Your mother wasn't his first victim. This goes back to his own childhood. Have you read all the letters yet? Kennedy asked, gesturing to Mum's envelope on the bedside table. Most of them. I picked up the most recent one, dated just 2 years ago. She tried to warn me. She knew what he was doing with my medical fund. But she couldn't reach you directly without risking everything, Simone finished. God, this would make an amazing documentary. A knock at the door interrupted us. A nurse entered, followed by a familiar face, Maria, our former housekeeper. I hope it's okay, she said, setting down a small plant. I wanted to check on you, and to thank you. Thank me? Your father. He did the same thing to my daughter, used her identity when she was young. The lawyers say we can join the class action now. More visitors came throughout the day. Martin brought updates about the investigation. Ingrid stopped by with messages from Riley. Even Tyler's ex-girlfriend appeared, sharing stories of financial manipulation we'd never known about. Miss Sherman? A woman in a sharp suit appeared in the doorway. I'm Amanda Torres from the FBI's Financial Crimes Unit. When you're feeling stronger, we'd like to talk. About what? Your father's pattern goes deeper than anyone realized. We're finding connections to other companies, other families. Your blog post opened a floodgate. After she left, Kennedy pulled up the latest news on her tablet. Look at this. Dad's old business partners are falling like dominoes. Everyone's scrambling to distance themselves. Including the governor, Simone added. He's returning all campaign contributions from Sherman Industries. My phone lit up with another message. This one from Tyler, sent from his lawyer's office. I'm telling them everything about the fake accounts, the offshore money, all of it. I'm sorry, Bonnie. I was wrong about everything. Do you believe him? Kennedy asked. I believe he's scared. I shifted in the bed, the pain medication wearing off. But maybe that's what he needed to be. Simone's laptop chimed. Oh, wow, the Women's Business Alliance wants you to speak at their conference. Topic, financial abuse and family power dynamics. They know I'm not an expert, right? No, Kennedy said firmly. You're something better. You're a survivor who fought back. The nurse returned with pain medication, but also news. There's a reporter in the lobby. Says she's doing a feature on familial financial abuse. Wants to talk to you. I looked at my sister, my best friend, the stack of letters from my mother. 20 years of silence broken open like a dam. Tell her I'll talk, I said, but not just about me, about everyone who's been trapped by family loyalty, everyone who's been told to stay quiet. Like Mom, Kennedy whispered. Like Mom, I agreed, and everyone else. My phone buzzed one final time that day, an email from an unknown address. The subject line made my heart stop. It's time to come home. It's from Mom, I breathed, opening it. Her words filled the screen. My brave, brilliant girl, I've been following everything. You did what I couldn't. You stood up, spoke out, and broke the cycle. I'm ready to tell my part of the story, if you'll let me. Tears blurred my vision as I typed back, Come home, Mom. We have a lot to talk about. Kennedy read the exchange over my shoulder, her own tears falling. She's really coming back. We all are, I said. Coming back, standing up, speaking out. Simone was already typing. I'm starting a website for others like us, people trapped by family financial abuse. Perfect, I smiled, feeling stronger despite the surgery pain. Let's help them all come home. The lake behind the women's shelter rippled with early morning light. I sat on my favourite bench, watching a family of ducks glide past while my newly healed spine supported me without pain. "There you are," Simone called, hurrying down the path with her laptop. "The donations just hit 3 million. We can fund the whole shelter renovation now." Our non-profit, Digital Defence Alliance, had grown from a simple website into something bigger than we'd imagined. Hundreds of survivors sharing stories, helping others escape financial abuse. "Did you see the news about Dad?" Kennedy joined us, carrying coffee. 15 years, no parole. I nodded. The sentencing had been yesterday. I hadn't attended, but I'd watched the live stream. My father, still trying to look dignified in his prison jumpsuit, had finally shown his true face when the judge mentioned restitution payments. "Tyler got 5 years, Simone added, "but with good behaviour and his cooperation." "He's already helping other kids of white-collar criminals," Kennedy said, "running support groups from inside." My phone buzzed, a message from Maria. "Another family just arrived at the shelter, mother and 3 kids. They're ready to talk when you are." "I'll be right there." I stood up, testing my back. No pain, just strength. "Bonnie!" Mum's voice carried across the lawn. She was walking toward us with Martin Olson, deep in conversation. Since her return, she'd become our financial advisor, helping other survivors untangle years of identity theft and hidden accounts. "The SEC wants to use our case as a training model," she said, reaching us. "Martin's team is drafting the curriculum." Speaking of training, Simone pulled up her calendar. "The FBI Financial Crimes Unit needs more dates for their workshop series. They say your sessions are always full." I laughed. "Tell them I'm booked solid with shelter work for the next month." "About that," Kennedy pulled out her tablet. "Remember that trust fund Dad set up in your name? The legitimate one from Grandma? The only account he didn't drain? What about it? The courts unfroze it yesterday. You can finally access it." I looked at the shelter behind us, our shelter now, funded by recovered assets from Sherman Industries. Women and children learned financial literacy here, rebuilt their lives, found their voices. "Add it to the renovation fund," I said. "The shelter needs a better security system." Mum squeezed my hand. "Your grandmother would be proud of that choice." "Miss Bonnie!" A teenage girl appeared on the path. "The new family's settled in, but the mum's scared about testifying against her husband." "Tell her I'm coming." I turned to my mother. "Want to help with this one?" She smiled. "Always." As we walked toward the shelter, Simone called out, "Don't forget, you're keynoting at the Justice Conference next week." "Already finished my speech," I called back. "It's called Standing Without Pain." Inside, the new family huddled on a couch, a mother and 3 daughters, all looking as scared as I'd been that day I checked my empty bank account. "Hi," I said softly, sitting across from them. "I'm Bonnie. This is my mum, Janet. Want to tell us your story?" The mother clutched her purse, eyes darting to the door. "You don't understand. He'll find us. He always does." "I do understand." I pulled up our website on my tablet, showed her the thousands of stories there. "See all these people? They thought they were alone too, but they're not, and neither are you." "But the money," she whispered. "He controls everything." Mum leaned forward. "So did my husband. Want to know how we beat him?" The eldest daughter, maybe 16, spoke up. "I've read about you, about what you did. Can you really help us?" "Better," I said. "We can help you help yourselves." I looked around the room, at my mother, strong and free, at this family taking their first steps toward freedom, at the sunlight streaming through windows we'd installed ourselves. My phone buzzed with another message from Kennedy. "Riley's Foundation just doubled their funding pledge. We can open 2 more shelters this year." The mother was crying now, but they were tears of relief. Her daughters huddled closer, protective and hopeful. "Ready to take your life back?" I asked them. The mother straightened her shoulders, looked at her daughters and nodded. "Ready?" "Then let's begin," I said, opening my laptop. "Your story starts now." Outside, more families would come, more stories would unfold, more voices would rise. But right here, right now, watching this family begin their journey to freedom, I felt the truth of what we'd built from the ashes of my father's empire. He taught me to stand on my own 2 feet, but we taught each other how to soar.